We find ourselves at the threshold of the end times, approaching the foretold chastisement. And it is crucial to analyze the hypothetical scenario that could unfold in Europe based on various Marian apparitions and private revelations. Regardless of the events that may take place in the future, the best preparation remains spiritual conversion and unwavering faith in God's providence. As prophesied in several apparitions, including those of Marie Julie Jahenny and Our Lady of La Salette, the world will experience an unprecedented financial collapse, leading to poverty, unemployment, and widespread suffering. The warnings indicate that inflation will spiral out of control, the stock market will crash, and many banks will fail. Many people, dependent on credit and government aid, will find themselves unable to afford basic necessities. Supply chain disruptions will lead to shortages of food, fuel, and medicine, further inflaming public unrest. The apparitions at Garabandal also speak of a time of great distress when people will find it difficult to obtain basic necessities. Given the high population density of European cities, such disruptions could lead to swift and widespread scarcity, further fueling civil unrest and desperation among the people. Entire cities could see mass protests and violent riots as people struggle to survive in an increasingly unstable environment. Initially, minor disturbances and economic difficulties may seem manageable, but as insecurity and violence escalate, they will reach levels beyond the capacity of local authorities to contain. As protests grow increasingly volatile, police forces may lose control, necessitating the deployment of the military in towns and cities to restore order. Additionally, large-scale migration movements may further strain already struggling infrastructures and social systems. The general state of crisis could be exacerbated by natural disasters, such as earthquakes, tsunamis, and extreme weather patterns linked to climate instability. Italy and Greece are particularly vulnerable to seismic activity, as are the Balkans and Turkey, which lie along major fault lines. In the event of a tsunami or a sudden rise in sea levels, countries like the Netherlands and many coastal European cities like London and parts of northern Germany could face catastrophic consequences. Marie Julie Jahenny specifically mentioned that parts of Europe would suffer severe destruction due to natural catastrophes, aligning with warnings from other private revelations, including those of Our Lady of La Salette, which spoke of storms of fire devastating entire regions. Additionally, external cosmic threats cannot be ruled out. A case that requires close monitoring in the years ahead is the asteroid 2024 YR4. Discovered in December 2024, has garnered significant attention due to its potential risk of impacting Earth on December 22, 2032. With an estimated diameter between 40 and 100 meters, an impact from this asteroid could destroy an entire city, causing widespread devastation and potential disruptions in global communications. While the probability of impact remains low, space agencies are closely monitoring its trajectory to obtain more data and be able to either increase or discard the possibility of an impact in 2032. Alongside this, powerful solar storms or unforeseen cosmic events could also contribute to a breakdown of modern communication infrastructure, further plunging the world into crisis. In this chaotic scenario, communications, satellite systems, and the internet may become unreliable or completely non-functional. Given the almost complete dependence of modern civilization on digital infrastructure, such failures would cause disarray in governance, commerce, and daily life, plunging the continent into deeper crisis. The mystic Marie Julie Jahenny describes a future alliance between far-left political factions and radical groups of another creed hostile to Christianity. This coalition could seize power and enforce measures against the Catholic Church, leading to the persecution of the faithful and fulfilling prophecies that foretell such events, including those of La Salette, Fatima, Garabandal, and Akita. In this context, two distinct churches may emerge. One that conforms to the demands of the authorities and another that remains faithful to Catholic tradition, forced into clandestinity. In this scenario, governments may resort to extraordinary measures to maintain social control, leveraging advanced technologies currently in development. Key instruments of this control could include unmanned systems, digital currency, and artificial intelligence. Some speculate that digital identities and central bank digital currencies could be used to enforce social compliance, effectively punishing those who resist the new order. Alliances like the European Union and NATO, already strained by internal divisions and political struggles, may face existential threats. These alliances could become ineffective, deeply weakened, or even completely dissolved in the face of rising crises, leaving Europe fragmented and vulnerable. Several private revelations, including those of Marie-Julie Jahenny, suggest that internal strife and betrayals will lead to the collapse of European unity. Most messages do not seem to indicate a nuclear war, though they do suggest a large-scale conflict that could become global. In her revelations, Marie-Julie Jahenny speaks of a possible Russian attack on Europe, which aligns with the significant role that Russia also plays in the apparitions of Fatima. However, this may not involve a conventional invasion, but rather a form of subversive warfare, through terrorist attacks, political influence, and the strategic placement of allied governments within European nations. In this scenario, Russia could support factions within European countries, ultimately securing de facto control over key territories. Additionally, the rapid evolution of drone warfare and autonomous combat systems could redefine military conflicts in ways we cannot yet predict. While no prophecies speak of a total conquest of Europe, various revelations predict the destruction of major cities. Paris and Rome, in particular, are frequently mentioned as sites of devastation. The messages of La Salette explicitly warn that Rome will be destroyed, and similar warnings appear in the writings of Marie-Julie Jahenny. As we stand on the precipice of uncertain times, the prophecies and revelations discussed serve as a solemn warning for Europe and the world. Now more than ever, individuals and nations must turn to prayer, repentance, and conversion, seeking divine guidance in navigating the tribulations that may come. In light of these prophecies, we are actively working on the Garabandal Refuge project to prepare for the difficult times ahead. This initiative aims to create a self-sustaining sanctuary where the faithful can find spiritual and material support. If you wish to contribute, you can support our GoFundMe campaign or contact us for more information on how to get involved. While these end times prophecies may point to very difficult and challenging times, they should not fill us with fear. Instead of falling into despair, let us turn to God with faith, knowing that through prayer, repentance, and trust, we can help shape the course of events and prepare our hearts for His divine plan.